Hi, this is Gary with MACMOST.com. Let's take a look at using the magnifier on your iPhone. MACMOST is brought to you thanks to a great group of more than 1,000 supporters. Go to MACMOST.com/Patreon. There you could read more about the Patreon campaign, join us, and get exclusive content and course discounts. So the magnifier is a really useful function of your iPhone that turns your iPhone and its camera into basically a magnifying glass. You can use this to read text when it's too small, like on the back of pill bottles or instructions for cooking something. Or if you've forgotten your reading glasses and you need to read something like a menu, you can use the magnifier for that as well. It's also handy because you can take a temporary picture of something to refer to it later. So for instance, you can have your iPhone reach around to the back of some electronics, take a picture of what's there, and then refer to it on your iPhone without saving it permanently in the Photos library. So first, let's configure how to get to the magnifier. This is part of the accessibility features of your iPhone. So you're going to go into Settings and then you're going to go down to Accessibility, and what you want to do is go to the Accessibility shortcut. This will list all the different things you can easily access on your iPhone. In this case, with this model, by pressing the side button 3 times. Now I've got several things turned on here. One of them is magnifier. If you set magnifier to be the only one, then triple clicking the side button would just go to the magnifier. Otherwise it's going to show us options. So if I try that now, it's going to come up with a list of different options, all those that were there. Magnifier will be one of those. So I'm going to turn it on with the iPhone pointed at a diagram that's kind of hard to read. It's got small print. And the camera will then show this diagram, and I could see it a little bit easier using the slider here. I could slide in to magnify. So you can get pretty close. And of course I can move the iPhone itself closer. At some point it'll be kind of out of focus. Now you have more options than just actually having it magnified. You've also got controls down here. So I can tap here, for instance, and I can adjust the brightness. I could tap here and adjust the contrast. I could tap here and then use a variety of different filters. So for instance, I can filter it like one of those, and this may make things easier to read for some. You also can turn the flashlight on. So if it's a dark spot, you can turn on the flashlight to shine more light, and then you can see that here. Now one of the best things you can do is you could take a picture of something. So for instance, if I didn't want to have to look at this right now, I could just tap here once and it will actually take a picture. Now I can move my iPhone around. I don't have to have it pointed at that thing anymore. And I could zoom in like that. And I could even try filters, brightness, contrast, and all of that. The picture's saved there. Tap here and it goes back into regular camera mode. Now I can also take a collection of shots. So for instance, I could go here, and if I want to save this one, but also several others, I could tap here and you could see it changes to the word view and a number there. So I could take a shot here, but then I could also go somewhere else and perhaps take a shot here, and you can see it says view 2. If I go into this, I could see both of those shots right there, and I could switch between them. I could go back to here to add more. I could also, when I'm in there, go to end and end it, and then those shots will be gone. Also, when you take a shot, not only can you view it, but you also have this share button there. It was there when we had the multiple shots as well. So if you do decide you want to save it to, say, notes, or send it in messages or mail, or save it as a file, you can do that even if you're in the magnifier app. Now you do have some options here. If you tap down here, you see the 4 different adjustments that you can make, including turning on the flashlight. You could add more here at the bottom and remove these. So if you want to remove one, like say you're never going to use the filters, you could remove it and it just goes down here. And you can always add it in again, and you can rearrange the order that these are in. You can also add more. Now what you see down here might depend on the iPhone model you have. On this iPhone I have focus lock, which is handy to be able to lock the focus when you're viewing in the magnifier and use that focus somewhere else. You also can switch cameras, so you can go to the front camera and the back camera. You might even find some variety inside these. For instance, if I add cameras here and done, I'll see the cameras there. I can tap and it will switch to the front camera and the back camera. But I actually have three options on my iPhone 13 Pro, one of them being the macro camera. An option I have on my iPhone 13 Pro that's not here is the ability to use people detection, which is an accessibility feature that allows you to see how close people are to you for those that are visually impaired. So that's not available here on this older iPhone. You could also determine which filters are available, so you can remove some that you just will never use and just leave the ones that you like. There are other ways to access the magnifier. One is in accessibility under touch. You can add this as the back tap. So I can do a double tap on the back or actually trigger the magnifier. Or you could set that to triple tap if you want. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of uses for an app where you can quickly take a picture and just have it there temporarily, or just enlarge text to make it easier to read just at that moment. Give it a try. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, click the thumbs up button below to let me know. I publish new tutorials each weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out.